and welcome to an extreme edition of Ben's Junk. And not to mention an episode with attitude. And yes, we are going to be stuck in the late 90s today. And indeed, I've got a big backlog of computer stuff to cover, so it's going to be kind of a semi-regular thing for a while I get that part of the collection, if you will, under control. And actually, the first two videos of this ilk are viewer donations and or back when I was still doing Patreon Ben's Junks, you know, paying a certain dollar amount and I would do a Ben's Junk of your request. I don't do those anymore, haven't in a few years now. But yes, I have one still kicking around from 2020 that I just haven't been able to do because since 2020 I've been trying to cobble together some sort of working period appropriate rig. So anyway, I'll get back to that in a minute. Before I forget, I need to thank John for sending in not just this particular unit, but actually another one. And this has been sitting around for a little over 2 years now. But anyway, today we are going to be looking at the JamCam digital camera from late 1998, early 1999. Which, as it turns out, was really just kind of a gateway 2000 drug, if you want to get period appropriate with the jokes, for Microsoft Picture It 99. And no, I don't remember that either. So anyway, just looking at the box, I was kind of under the impression, because there's mention of AOL and stuff on the back of the box, that maybe I was dealing with a really early webcam. No, this is just the world's cheapest digital camera, even by the standards of the time. The pictures, even by the standards of the time, are atrocious. The resolution is just dreadful. I did a test with some pictures on this, and the final product, even with me mangling it and all, I think it was still only 5K. I mean, it was just tiny. But anyway, as I mentioned, I was sent 2 of these, and it was for the best, because as it turns out, neither unit was quite fully functional, or maybe one had, like, for example, a bad diskette. So yeah, I was able to get together more than one fully functional one. But actually, this one in the box here is more or less new old stock still. Although I did pull out the still sealed remaining copy I have of Picture It, and I have no idea why I censored the number for that either. I think this counts as abandonware at this point. Yeah, whatever. So anyway, let's just take a quick look at this. That's it. There is no adjustable viewfinder, no screen, no menus, a very wonky shutter button, which doesn't have any, I'll hold it up to the mic, any real feedback to it. It doesn't click down or anything. It's just a really basic sensor. And indeed, I did open this up and look at the guts, and it is the walking, talking definition of basic. So this runs on a 9-volt battery, and you can take a whopping 6 photos with this thing. You do not get to choose resolution or anything. You just get whatever you get. And of course, it being fixed focus, you truly get what you get. So I can't imagine too many usable pictures ever came from one of these. And yes, I understand this is really meant for kids and all, but I could picture kids getting really frustrated with this. And indeed, on that note, when this came out, I would have been just crossing into my teenage years, and I was still using film back then. It was cheaper than digital cameras, and you could shoot a lot more pictures and all. You could even get Polaroid cheaper than a lot of this stuff, and it would be usable and all. But yeah, I guess I do need to take a look at this. Now, getting back to my little talk about laptops a few minutes ago, A few months ago, I did my second video on my IBM ThinkPad T40, which was a viewer donation, but it had some problems, and they have been since worked out. But at the same time that I was finishing up working on the T40, the same viewer donated another period laptop to me, a Dell Inspiron 7500, which I may or may not do a video on eventually. But the timing couldn't have been better. Now, the computer does have some problems, but it works well enough to get us over the finish line. So I will be using the Dell for this one because that T40 I was working on was a little more recent and it had been rolled back to Windows 98. The Dell is actually, proper period appropriate Windows 98. And the computer has 9-pin serial, a 9-pin serial connector on it. And then the camera takes this 1/8" tip ring sleeve thing on the other end. So anyway, yes, everything kind of worked out for the best on that front. And even if the T40 had the appropriate jack on it, it didn't like the software very well, despite also being a Windows 98 unit, effectively. But yeah. Anyway, I did shoot some B-roll with this. I'm sure I've already spliced some of it in, and I've run some direct feed footage from the laptop to my cloner box showing me installing and all that stuff. And depending on what I need, I'll either cut it into my chat here or we'll just use that as a transition between this and the as close to a demo as I can get. But anyway, really, for all intents and purposes, the remainder of this video is going to be me just talking over direct feed footage from the laptop. I've got a mixer hooked up, so it's I'm running out of the headphone jack into one of the inputs, stereo inputs on the mixer, and I also have a microphone running into the mixer, and then the mixer is running to my cloner box, and then the video end of things is running VGA to the cloner box, so I can sit there and do, as it were, live commentary as I'm going through not a whole lot here. Like I said, it's really more a vehicle for this Picture It software, and that one still kind of comes off as a poor man's Photoshop, even by the standards of the time. Maybe that's why I don't remember it. But anyway, let's move over to the laptop. Alright, pardon me for any mic handling noises. I don't have a small mic stand, unfortunately. But yes, let's go ahead and open up Picture It. And I found that it works better with the CD in for some reason. I really don't know why. Maybe, and I'm dead serious. Maybe somebody can fill me in on that. But let's go ahead and open it. It'll probably take forever. Oh, we got cute music. And it'll take probably between 60 and 90 seconds to start up. Okay, we're in, and I'm sure the camera has still got the last 6 photos I took, which was actually me letting it take them automatically, and it was just, whatever it happened to be aimed at, the ceiling, the wall, whatever. But I'll hit Get Picture, and it'll take a really, really, really long time to get started, if it works at all. Hooray for uninstall and reinstall! Now the freaking thing works. Okay, maybe we can actually do a little business here. I guess I'll turn the volume back up just in case it wants to make any cute noises. Let me make sure my camera is on. It's just kind of aiming at the ceiling right now. Let's get pictures. Hey, there we go. So it only took a successful uninstall and reinstall. That bodes real well. Okay, there's my JamCam. We'll download pictures. Oh, there's my beautiful thumbnails. Let's see, what's the last thing I took? I really don't remember, even though it was only maybe 6 hours ago. Oh, a garbage can. There's something symbolic to that. We'll see what number 5 is. Part of a piece of paper and a battery, which I already made a cool little party invitation out of this afternoon. Half a picture of an Ian Dury album cover. Yeah, this is has been really the first day I've really worked with this computer, and I figured I christened the last laptop, the IBM one, with Slim Whitman. So I figured I'd go in the other direction and christen this one with Ian Dury and the Blockheads. Anyway, I can click clear camera all day long and it doesn't do a thing. But I can hit continuous capture, and it starts taking pictures. I'll just aim at random junk. Takes one about every, 10 seconds or so. See if I can get anything even sort of discernible. Maybe a sideways pic, does it? I don't think it's gonna... Oh. Camera not present. That means I moved it too far. Oh no. Nothing like dodgy gear. There we go. I can barely tell what's in my own shots. Let's just aim it at the light. Let's be a jerk. Oh yeah. Bad exposure. As opposed to good exposure. Anyway, let's turn this off. And let's just start looking at my lovely photos. And let's see what we want to keep here. Number 1, sort of at my one of my studio lights. Number 2, a nice blurry shot. I wonder what the duration of a shot is. Like a 30th of a second. I can't even tell what that is. It's my office chair, actually. Nothing but the finest photography from me for my Gatorade bottle. Number 5. A somewhat better shot of one of my guitars. We'll probably use that to experiment on. Oh, another one. Yeah, let's stick with number 5 here. At least that's the closest to discernible that we've got. Let's go ahead and capture. And we'll get a look at that sweet, sweet resolution. That's like a millionth of a megapixel. Maybe this is why I was still using analog cameras in 1999. I suppose I should... Just so we have something else to work with. Don't you love those sound effects? We'll just grab one more picture. What's something I can take a picture of real quick? I guess I could take a picture of myself. The quality is so poor. Now, I haven't really figured out how to take one picture at a time. I can hit get pictures. It doesn't download them. It doesn't seem to do much of anything. But we'll kick back into continuous capture. I don't care if I lose that first shot. It was quicker than I was. Get one of my little mixing board. Wonderful. So we'll add that to the pot. We'll hit close. So I got 2 photos down here to work with. But let's stick with the more discernible one. I'm going to turn those sound effects down. Let's add some text, shall we? Let's see. Why not? In Comic Sans, I did not pick that. Ooh, do I want to see a movie? No, I saw it earlier. It's pretty lame.
Hey, take a look. I just added a few things to the party collage I'm making. But now the yellow and green balloons are covering up some of the letters.
Yep. You need to change the order of the things in your collage.
What do you mean?
When you add things to your Picture-It project, photos, text, whatever, the objects are stacked one on top of another in the order in which you add them. Sometimes you can't even tell this is happening, but at other times it's obvious.
Oh, so the balloons are stacked on top of the words. What do I do now?
You use the stack. It's on the right side of the screen.
Let's see if we can't do something about the... jazzy effects. I haven't played with jazzy effects here. Exotic. Only one letter off from erotic. But somehow I don't think it's going to work. Oh, yeah. Let's make it truly unreadable. Okay, let's see what we can do for color. Make it something half readable. No? Honestly, I'm digging these sound effects. Yeah, I could do that all day. Okay. Let's move this somewhere semi-discernible and probably rather blurry. What else can I do to this? Let's bend the text. Ooh, even better, we can go kind of early 90s Saturday Night Live with it. Let's see if I can I change the size a little? Not really. I'm sure there's a way, and I just haven't thought about it yet. Let's add a cutout. Let's see if we can make something out of. Let's add it to the collage if it'll let us. No, of course not. That would be useful. Let's recreate had I had, say, a mixer back in 1999. What maybe a really lame album cover of mine might have looked like. Of course, I'd really like to change the order of these. All right, let's make it look like it's been sitting in the car too long. Oh. Ooh, it makes sounds. Check that out. Listen. Yep. Maybe I can make this like heavy metal. We can make it look like my mixer. I can't even see my own cursor. There. Yeah, that looks metal, right? So let's kick over to the other photo then, shall we? We'll just say we're done with that. We'll kick over to this guy. Let's touch it up. I hate it when my guitar has red eye. Select eyes by tracing. Yes, that shall do quite well. There's a real nice circle. Much better. I like it. Let's get some more special effects on it. I believe in transparency. Let's see what happens here. Move it in the other. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So now I can fight with name your favorite late 90s one-hit wonder. That's beautiful. What other effects have we got here? Well, let's just sharpen it. Lord knows it needs it. Yep. Lovely. And then we'll pick the other one. We'll sharpen that sucker. I'm going to have the great Benny Boy imaginary album cover here if it's the last thing I do. Paint and color effects. How about stamping? I like to stamp things out. Volleyball. Ooh, can I get a volleyball on there? Oh yeah. Real tiny ones. Maybe I can sign. There we go. I'm an artiste. I'll turn those goofy sound effects back down. Let's see here. Ooh, gradients. Yeah. That is truly rock and roll, children. Edge effects. Well, we got to have some edge. We don't want to be seen as soft now, do we? How about cool edges? It's plenty hot out right now. First, please click on Object, then choose the task. Okay. Ooh. There's some sort of artistic symbolism to that. I'll let that roll. Oh, wait, did I see remove wrinkles? All right. I've got wrinkles. Get rid of those pesky wrinkles. There we go. I think I got this. This is my new album cover. This will come out in sometime in 2000, I suppose. Now that is truly a masterwork. Drink that in. Anyway, that's going to be it for this installment of Ben's Junk. As long as you didn't mind me going a little overboard there. I think I'm allowed to do that once in a while. That is going to be it for now. I'll talk to you again soon.